Welcome to What's Cooking in Real Estate with Jackie and Xavier.
Hey.
We're with the little group at Keller Williams Realty, and we cook food and tell you what's happening in our real estate business. And today we are making
Protein pancakes.
Protein pancakes because we're doing breakfast today. It's actually 8:40. I'm starving. I already started with my latte that my handsome barista made for me. And we're going to talk today about how to buy and sell at the same time, especially when you are on a limited budget.
Yeah, that's something that comes up a lot. How do I do this? What will happen? Will I be homeless? What do I do?
Yeah, this is okay. So while Xavier makes the protein pancakes, we're just going to have a little conversation about this. Xavier, what's in the protein pancakes for the people?
A bunch of random stuff that I found online. I don't even know, but it comes out delicious.
Random stuff.
I mean,
pretty sure it's not random.
It's not random. I mean, but it's ingredients, right? So let's just see here. We're gonna have a banana, ripe. We're gonna have rolled oats. I typically put about 3/4 of a cup.
By the way, it's gonna sound disgusting, but it's delicious.
Cottage cheese. We're gonna do 1/2 cup. We're gonna have 2 eggs. And then we have some just flavor additives. We're gonna do some cinnamon and we're gonna do some vanilla extract.
How do you sell and buy a house at the same time? This obviously is something that is super challenging for people. And I think also keeps people from making any real estate moves because they can't figure out how to do it. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to share with you different ways that you can sell and buy a house at the same time, even if you're on a limited budget. Now, one of the things we recommend is you have like an A, B, and C plan.
Okay.
So A plan is we find you a house, maybe it's off market, maybe the seller is willing to wait a bit, then we list your house, then we sell your house and you buy that house and you move in and everything's wonderful. How likely is the A plan to happen?
I mean, if things go well. I don't want to say if you're lucky because it does happen.
It helps if you find a real estate agent who does a lot of listings. So in the best case scenario is I go on a listing appointment. I'm like, I have a buyer for this house. I already know. And then I go on another listing appointment and I say, I have a buyer for this house that I already know. And then I put those people together and we can work it out without ever having to go on the MLS. That is beautiful. And we do it, I don't know, a few times a year it works out. But out of the 60 or 70 homes we're selling, maybe that happens 4 or 5 times a year. If you need to sell your house first and then buy a house, we can't really go house shopping for you and put in an offer for you because you still have to sell your house, especially if your house isn't even listed yet. And here's where people get stuck because they're like, well, I don't want to list my house. What if I sell it too fast? That is the best problem we can possibly have. If you sell your home too fast, we have storage units, we have rental properties, we have hotels, we have families that you can go live with for a little while. The best problem you can have is that we list your house and it sells within a week and you don't have a house yet. That's the absolute best. But that's
the fear.
That's what people are scared of,
yeah.
Even though that's the best possible thing that can happen.
Every time.
Right. So we need to come up with a solution for that problem. In our business, Xavier and I actually own some vacation rental properties and we manage some vacation rental properties for other clients of ours too. So we almost always have a place for you to go. Is it smart to house hunt? Of course you want to house hunt, right? Because you want to get to know the market and you want to see, well, first of all, especially if you're making a lateral move, which I have clients right now that are making a lateral move just because they want a different floor plan. So they want to compare not only what they can buy, but also what they think their house can sell for. So house hunting and scrolling on, real estate websites, definitely want to do that. You want to go to open houses, things like that. But you can't really probably make an offer on something until you at least have your house listed and preferably it's under contract and even more preferably it's about ready to close.
Like through inspections and everything already.
Exactly, yeah. So I think you're getting the gist that It's complicated, but completely doable. And it's very important that you have the right real estate agent helping you do this, because there are some that won't do it, first of all. There are others who will just kind of put the sign in the yard and kind of hope for the best for you. And then there are others like us who will actually go and try to find an off-market property for you, things like that. That's really what you need in this sell-buy situation, don't you think, Xavier?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of factors aside from just the selling and buying piece. And those are the things people are usually concerned about, or potentially working with a real estate agent that doesn't factor that in or doesn't care to get involved in those other processes.
Now, there are obviously going to be expenses to sell your home. So you're going to have real estate commissions likely. If you have any liens on the house that have to get paid off, like these things have to get done.
Let's pause for a moment and take notice. So here we are.
This is what it looks like.
This is it.
Actually, it looks delicious, except for the raw eggs.
We're ready with the KitchenAid immersion blender and our goodies. And
oh, I thought it was gonna fly everywhere.
Huh? Well, it might, but I'm gonna get it down in and then incorporate ingredients as we go.
Oh, you still have more ingredient?
No. I mean from the top. But I also have learned how to layer the ingredients in such a way that like those loose oats that are dry would fly everywhere. It's cool how this thing works. You see how it pulls in and spins, pulls in, sucks in, and turns it? Now we gotta get...
What kind of, what is this?
The KitchenAid.
KitchenAid what?
Immersion blender. KitchenAid
immersion blender.
Yes.
We're not sponsored yet by KitchenAid, but we should be.
Among other things,
and
yes.
Do you want to talk about your, what is this thing?
That's the hex-clad double burner griddle.
Hex-clad double burner griddle. If you open these drawers, you'll see nothing but hex-clad in here because my husband is snobby with his cookware like that. Okay, so selling and buying at the same time, what costs are involved? If you are getting a mortgage, so some people, what they'll do is explore different loans. So a type of loan you could get, especially if you have equity in your current home, is maybe a home equity line of credit. Those are pretty simple to get. Takes, 3 to 4 weeks to probably process that. Usually they don't come with much fees. Like Xavier and I have gotten one before that there was no fees, right, Xavier?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were no fees to have that line of credit. We did that through Bay First, which we love Bay First in Florida. So that's home equity line of credit. So that is a line of credit that you can borrow against and you can buy a house with it. And then when you sell your house, you just pay it off. That's a home equity line of credit. That is really a great way to go if you want to buy first and then sell. That way you can shop for a home, you can make a great offer, we can list your home, and it's just not pressure. It's just kind of easy. You can move your stuff from one place to the other, we can get your place staged, we can sell it. It's just like great. There are other types of loans called, well, I'm gonna use the slang for it because I don't know what they're actually called right now, but they're called bridge loans.
Getting the butter spread.
All right, he's buttering the griddle right now. You can butter my griddle, baby. I don't know what that means.
I'll make it mean something.
So, I don't know that I should talk while you're doing that.
I'm done. It's just...
So a bridge loan, banks will loan you the money and they give you 6 months to pay off that bridge loan. So we have 6 months to find you a house and sell your house and pay off that loan. For a bridge loan, there's still gonna be fees involved, and that's gonna depend on, which bank you go with and what kind of specials they're running. Do you wanna talk about what you're doing with the pancakes now?
Yeah, I'm pouring the batter in. I try to learn over time the size based on the amount of batter I make, and then I start in the middle and work outwards.
So the cottage cheese is for the protein. The banana is for the fruit, the eggs are for the protein, and then the oats are for the grain that we eat in the morning. So those are the three food groups that we eat in the morning is fruit, protein, and grain. So this covers all that. And
a little fat.
Also, we're gonna finish them off with some no sugar added peanut butter. Let me show you what
or nut butter, like sun butter. Sometimes I just use butter. And it's like, pancakes with butter and syrup. We just remove the syrup, but the flavor is so good that I don't even have to worry about it.
These are the two different types of nut butters we use. This is a no sugar added Jif. It's delicious.
GIF?
When you're not eating sugar, you don't know the difference, honestly, to be honest. And then this is a no sugar added sun butter. They do make this with sugar added. So if you're going to buy it, make sure that you get the orange one that says no sugar added, because I've made a mistake and bought a different one that we then had to give to the dogs. All right, so now we're waiting. So Xavier, how do you know? How long does it take to cook them?
Given that we're recording, I went with a lower heat, so I didn't have to use the vent hood because of the sound. Mm-hmm. But typically what I'm gonna do is you'll start to see bubbles form in the pancake top, and then it'll crisp up around the edges. I like it a little bit crispy, like a little crust around the edge. So once I start to see the edges lifting up, that's when I can go in for the flip.
They're delicious, highly recommend. And everybody that we've introduced these to absolutely loves them also. Okay, so we're talking about selling a house and buying a house at the same time and trying to mitigate the fees that could be involved if you have to borrow money. One of the most expensive things about buying a house is borrowing money. It's not really buying the house that's expensive. It's the money that you have to borrow from the bank that makes it expensive, because you have loan origination fees. You've got, I don't know, how many fees are on an Alta now for a loan?
You mean the closing settlement statement?
Yeah, like there's so many fees on there from a lender. You can't even keep track of all of it. So it's not just your down payment, it's all these fees. And at least your down payment is going towards your equity, right? But the fees you never get back. So we want to try to mitigate those fees as much as possible.
It's all rolled into your quote unquote closing costs for the loan, but typically you're not told, you're just told like, oh, generally it'll be about X, 2 to 3% of or whatever they say. And then when you actually look at the settlement statement or the closing disclosure, wait, what are all these different line items? It's like, oh yeah, that's all of it.
And you can negotiate those, by the way. So your realtor can help you, but definitely when you see that fee sheet, see what you can negotiate off of there, okay?
So I'm taking it and rotating it. So, and for you too, you can see, if you look underneath, there's two burners there and they sync together. The heat level syncs together. But the way they're spaced out here and the size of them, this burner griddle is too big, and this is a touch controlled. So when I try to center it, it keeps messing with it and turning it off.
This is what keeps most people from doing this. I guess the moral of the story is when you buy a home, try and buy something that's versatile enough for the future of whatever your future looks like. If you can, because you really don't want to be moving every few years. It eats up your equity with all of the closing costs and things. So you really want to try and keep a home for at least 7 to 10 years, or as long as you possibly can. But if you find yourself in a situation where, you have a life change, you have illness, you have something unexpected happen, and you need to be able to sell and buy at the same time, hopefully this video has given you some tips on how to do that. We have a client right now we're working with, and the best case scenario is I'm going to be able to find another property, another
off-market.
I'm looking for an off-market property to sell them. And side tip, if you're a realtor watching this, look at your expireds and your canceled and your withdrawns. Those people likely are still motivated and want to sell, and a knock on the door with an offer could just be the solution that everybody needs. So you got to think outside the box in these situations.
So just bringing them around the edges where the butter's pulled up. And
those look really good, babe.
Thank you.
Look at the intense focus.
Oh, me. Oh, I'm focused.
Do you guys do this? Xavier likes a big fork for anything he eats, pretty much. I like the little fork for anything I eat.
It's funny because I like a small spoon. I don't like big spoons.
Oh, and I like a big spoon.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
There you go.
What? Let me show you what it looks like with peanut butter on it. I'm going to use the peanut butter.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to use the peanut butter too?
Yeah.
It's not the oily kind. You don't have to like stir it up. Like this one. This one you do have to stir up. This one looks exactly just like the peanut butter you're eating at home with sugar. Definitely recommend. If you love peanut butter, but you know how highly caloric it is. Oh my gosh, look how it's melting on there. Walnuts are a really good addition to give it a little more crunch. And you can also maybe take another banana and slice it on top of there if you want to make it really fancy. You can, like we said, use butter if you don't want all the extra protein and extra fat of the peanut butter.
Good?
Yeah. Ready to eat?
Oh, yeah. Been ready.
All right, here we go. We already know it's going to be absolutely delicious. Cheers. Now we can't talk. And peanut butter is stuck in our mouths.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching What's Cooking in Real Estate with
So
Jackie and Xavier at Keller Williams Realty in Tampa, Florida.
Bye.